They say history is written by the victors, but what if the story they wrote left entire chapters out? From chambers sealed for 4,500 years to languages we still can't read. These are real discoveries, confirmed, excavated, and ignored. Because when something doesn't fit the timeline, the textbooks stay quiet. But not today. These are the top 10 ancient discoveries that challenge history. And once you hear number 1, you'll never look at the pyramids the same way again. If you're fascinated by ancient knowledge, forbidden history, and real-world mysteries that make scholars squirm, hit that subscribe button. We dig up what others bury. Now, let's get into it. 10. The Ain Dara footprints. Syria. At the entrance of an Iron Age temple in Syria lie 2 massive footprints carved directly into solid basalt. Each one measures over 3 feet long, and they're spaced as if a giant stepped forward into the sanctuary. No inscription, no explanation, just stone impressions preserved for over 3,000 years. What makes it stranger is the context. Ain Dara's temple architecture shares eerie similarities with Solomon's temple in the Bible. Scholars debate whether the footprints were symbolic, representations of gods entering holy ground, or something else entirely. But the sheer scale, precision, and lack of documentation has kept this mystery alive for decades. 9. The Tartaria tablets, Romania. In 1961, in a Neolithic settlement in modern-day Romania, archaeologists unearthed 3 small clay tablets covered in abstract, incised symbols. Radiocarbon dating placed them at roughly 5300 BCE, which is older than the Sumerian cuneiform system by nearly 2,000 years. That discovery sent shockwaves through the academic world. Were these symbols writing? A form of proto-script? Some linguists think so, noting that certain markings on the Tartaria tablets closely resemble symbols found later in Mesopotamia. If true, it implies that the idea of written communication wasn't born in Sumer, but somewhere in prehistoric Europe. And yet, outside of a few niche studies, these tablets remain strangely ignored. 8. Denisovan DNA discovery, Siberia. In 2010, scientists analyzing a single finger bone and molar from Denisovan cave in Siberia made a shocking discovery. The remains belong to an entirely new species of human. Not Homo sapiens, not Neanderthal, something else. They called them Denisovans. What's wild is how little we still know. No full skeleton has ever been found, but their genetic legacy lives on. In people from Southeast Asia, Melanesia, and parts of Tibet. Some of us are literally carrying unknown ancient DNA from a branch of humanity we didn't even know existed 15 years ago. It raises the question, how many other human species did we walk beside, and how many did we forget? 7. The Phaistos disk, Crete. Discovered in 1908 in the ruins of a Minoan palace, the Phaistos disk is made of fired clay and stamped with 241 symbols arranged in a perfect spiral. Over a century later, no one has definitively cracked its code. What's unique is that the symbols weren't carved. They were pressed with stamps, meaning this wasn't just written. It was mass-produced. The language, the message, the purpose, all unknown. Some believe it's a hymn, others a legal document, maybe even a board game. But here's what we do know. It remains the only known example of its kind. No duplicates, no variants, just one disc in one place, carrying a message we still can't read. 6. The Longyou Caves, China. In 1992, a local farmer drained a pond in Zhejiang province and uncovered the entrance to an enormous, man-made cave. Over the next few years, 23 more were discovered, all carved into solid sandstone. Each cave is filled with square columns, perfectly smooth walls, and consistent patterns, as if designed by machines. No tools were found, no construction records exist, and dating the site is nearly impossible. The amount of stone removed is estimated to be over 1 million cubic meters, an engineering feat that modern tools would struggle to replicate. And yet, Chinese historians don't include it in any official timeline. It's as if these caves were meant to be forgotten. 5. The California petroglyphs, Chumash cave art. Hidden inside sandstone caves along the California coast, the Chumash people painted intricate symbols that have lasted over 1,000 years. Bright reds, blacks, and whites form suns, circles, humanoid figures, all arranged with mathematical precision. Some researchers believe these petroglyphs map solstices or lunar cycles. Others say they record spiritual visions seen during trance states, but no one's cracked the full meaning. What's even more fascinating, they used pigments made from local minerals and organic binders that have resisted weathering for centuries. These paintings weren't just art, they were records, and their meaning, lost with time, may be more advanced than anyone assumed. 4. The Book of Enoch. Long before the Bible was canonized, the Book of Enoch was a central text for early Jewish and Christian sects. But then it vanished, removed from all versions of the Bible except the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. In its pages are stories of angels who descended to earth, taught humanity forbidden knowledge, and were cast into darkness for corrupting mankind. It also describes a pre-flood civilization destroyed by divine judgment. Some believe it references Atlantis, others see it as myth. But this isn't fringe. The Book of Enoch was quoted by early church fathers, referenced in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and preserved for millennia in secret. So why was it erased? 3. The Sumerian king list, a 4,000-year-old clay tablet written in cuneiform. The Sumerian king list records every ruler of ancient Mesopotamia, but there's a twist. Some reigns are realistic, others are impossible. Kings ruling for 1,200 years, some for 28,800. Then a flood, then more kings. Modern historians usually treat the early entries as myth, symbolic of long dynasties. But these same tablets later list historically verified rulers, exact names, and timelines. Why would a civilization blend myth and fact so seamlessly? Were they trying to preserve a literal memory, or just impress their descendants with stories of divine kings? The truth may be lost, but the tablet is real, and it raises more questions than it answers. 2. Mount Padang. Indonesia. At first glance, it looks like a natural hill, but ground-penetrating radar tells a different story. Underneath Mount Padang lies a multi-layered structure made of stacked stones, tunnels, and chambers. Carbon dating of organic materials taken from deep inside the core yielded shocking results. Some levels are over 20,000 years old. That predates every known civilization, by a lot. Geologists and engineers on site claim the stonework shows signs of intentional placement and design. If verified, it would make Mount Padang the oldest known megalithic site on Earth, older than Göbekli Tepe, older than the pyramids, older than history itself. And yet it's barely mentioned in mainstream textbooks. 1. The hidden chamber in the Great Pyramid. In 2017, a team of international scientists used cosmic ray muon detectors to scan in the Great Pyramid of Giza. What they found stunned them. A large, empty void hidden above the Grand Gallery, undisturbed for 4,500 years. It's the first major internal structure discovered in the pyramid since the 1800s. No tools, no markings, no access tunnel. Just a silent cavity, untouched since construction. Egyptian authorities dismissed it, but the Scan Pyramids team stands by their data. The chamber is real. So, what's inside? A sealed royal chamber, a resonance chamber, a storage vault. Until someone opens it, if they ever do, the Great Pyramid will keep its greatest secret locked away. Every one of these discoveries is real, verified, unearthed, measured. But instead of rewriting our history books, they've been tucked away into academic footnotes and ignored excavation reports. So ask yourself, if this is what we know, what else haven't we found? Drop your favorite from this list in the comments. And if you want a part 2, just say the word. Don't forget to like and subscribe because this is only the surface.